Hey everybody, thanks for supporting local music. I'm gonna do a song. It's actually a true story based on true people. It's about a house of ill repute in New Orleans and a man who ran the place. And it's not the place you think it's about. So down in New Orleans before Katrina, there was like an artist community that kind of lived on a street called South Front Street, and that was a place where the houses were like kind of pretty bad shape. They didn't know if the bank owned them, they didn't know if the people owned them, but these cats moved in there and they just started hanging out. So there was this fellow named Ike. He lived in a place that had no electricity, had holes in the floor, and he ran a little side hustle, make a little extra money. And this is a song about it. Now Ike is a man, stays mostly at home. He's got 3 dogs and a bucket full of bones. He lends his place out to $5 whores, spends sunshiny days on his front porch. Now he reads his paper and he lays on his couch, drinks that corn liquor whiskey till the bottle runs out. He puts his cane to the tracks and he walks into the wind. Ike tends to stay out while his women are in. Here we are, dirt from the river, it's say, and we rode in on the flood. We drank whiskey for our liver. We stand stuck in the mud. Well, one day, one of Ike's women came knocking on my door the other night. She says, I stays by Ike's house. Do you have a light? Well, I gave her some matches and I tried to close the door. She said, no, baby, I need a candle so I can see the floor. There was a candle to light the way. Close the candle to something good. Well, I told her I had a candle somewheres in my home. She followed me in, she said, do you live alone? I said, yes ma'am, I do, I live here all by myself. And I pulled a little red candle down off the shelf. She goes, she says, I appreciate that. In a snaggletooth grin, I bet you got yourself one pretty girlfriend. Well, no ma'am, I don't, I said as I stared at the floor. Strange how the devil keeps pushing more and more. God damn, she says, you like women? I said, yeah, I like women. But she struck a pose and looked at me sideways like and said, well, do you want one $5 woman tonight? Here we are, dirt from the river, it say, and we rode in on the flood. We drank whiskey for our liver. We stand stuck here, stuck in the mud. Well, I watched her walk at home, barefoot down the street, flower print, polyester shoes, and no shoes on her feet. Ike was on the railroad tracks, looking up at the stars as she walked into his house, as the dogs began to bark, as the dogs begin to bark. Story of Ike. That was like 20 years ago, so I don't even know if he's living anymore. He's like an old cat guy. But
Is it a true story?
yeah, it's a true story, yeah. There's this cat, Grayson Capps. He's a really great songwriter. And he's the guy that wrote that song, and he writes all songs about things that in his life. I mean, it's all true stories, all based upon things that he knows and people he met and stuff like that. And he was actually from Bruton, Alabama, and he moved down to New Orleans to go to school. And then when Katrina came and wiped everything out, he moved out to Tennessee for a while, and now he's back in Alabama. But look him up; he has some great songs.